And this attitude was that, as he says, I have learned. The word used more fully means, I have learned the secret. It is a metaphor which comes from the rites of initiation in pagan mysteries. And so it signifies something like, I have been initiated. Okay? From his past life, he had been initiated into this attitude which he now possessed. And I'm not saying that he was a pagan, but he's using terminology that the people he's writing to would understand. I've been initiated into understanding this life in Christ. The secret of contentment was learned. The contentment was both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. That is his state of contentment. To be full and to be hungry, to abound and to suffer need. He has been initiated into that. He understands that those are not what is important. Although it does help, don't get me wrong, it is not what is ultimately important. His contrasting words show the totality of his life experiences. To him, he could get along with any extreme without demonstrating the negative qualities which will normally surround someone when faced with the same. So if you are lacking in one way or another in this way, then you need to try to turn the negative into a positive. Turn the hungry into being full, even if it's just a mental attitude. Here's a good example of this. I watched something on the people that were in the Americans that were in the Philippines during the war, World War II. And they had nothing to eat. The Japanese were in control. They might get a bowl of rice each every couple days or so. And the two children, this lady that was talking and her brother, I think it was a girl and a boy. It was definitely the lady that was talking, though. She said that we used to have a game. She said we would stick our finger up to our stomach and see if we could feel our backbone. As sad as that is, and as hungry as they were trying to make something good out of a bad situation. I can feel mine. And so if you got to do something in life, you have to be able to do something to get your mind off of your hunger. And if it means just simply playing a game and feeling your backbone through your stomach, that's what you do. And I know, as terrible as that sounds, that's what Paul is trying to tell us. There is something else that we can direct our minds to. In his case, it is Jesus. It is contentment in Christ. But those people, those children, were trying to find something to take their minds off of the absolutely agonizing hunger that they had. Well, if we can do that in Jesus instead of worrying about our backbone, then we'll be a lot happier. But this is what Paul is trying to tell us, is to find contentment in Christ no matter what, okay? In times of being full, there was no need to boast. In times of famine, there was no need to worry. To Paul, life was lived for Christ. The carnal, temporary world was not the only hope he possessed. And so whatever the state, it was nothing more than another step on the way to final glory. Okay? Hard to imagine what some people have gone through. As well, you can see it right in the news right now. If you're willing to read the news, not the mainstream news, because they're never going to tell you about this, but if you read like the Christian Post or the Christian Headlines, some of these organizations, and especially the Voice of the Martyrs, you will hear what Christians are going through right now in the world. In Nigeria, they're just getting killed by the hundreds and hundreds. Okay, we get a couple of Rohingya or whatever they're called over in Burma, and it makes all the news in the world. But you got Christians that are being slaughtered by the hundreds down in Nigeria, and you don't hear about it on any news service. Unless you are reading Christian news headlines or the Voice of the Martyr, you're not going to hear about this. But they talk about, these people will tell you about what they've been going through. And you think, how could they even endure through that? Well, they know Jesus, okay? They know Jesus, and so they're able to go through it, even as